We're diving into a special coin that could make you rich, the 1980p Mintmark Washington quarter. Yes, that's right. Some of these quarters are worth millions, and I'll tell you exactly why. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and has become one of the most iconic coins in circulation. But what makes the 1980p Mintmark quarter so special? Well, it's all about where it was minted, its scarcity, and a few mysterious factors that we'll get into shortly. The P Mintmark signifies that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Now, in 1980, the U.S. Mint didn't issue nearly as many quarters as it did in other years, and the ones that were made often had small variations in design that could affect their value. People don't even realize they have a 1980p quarter sitting in their change jar. But some of these coins have errors and rare features that collectors pay top dollar for. So, what should you look for in a 1980p Mint quarter? Well, some of the highest valued quarters are those with errors. Common errors include off-center strikes, double dies, or weak strikes. These errors can dramatically increase the coin's value. A pristine 1980p quarter with a significant error can be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of dollars. The more unique the error, the higher the value. Now let's talk numbers. A regular, circulated 1980p quarter is usually only worth its face value, 25 cents. However, an uncirculated or high-grade coin can fetch anywhere from $100 to $500 at auctions. But here's where things get crazy. Some of these error coins in mint condition have sold for over $1 million. The rarity of the error, combined with the coin's overall condition, is the perfect recipe for a massive payday. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how can you tell if your quarter is one of the rare ones? First, check the condition. Look for any visible errors like misaligned images or doubled lettering. Then, consider sending it to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC, which can confirm the quality and authenticity of your coin. Graded coins are much more valuable and can fetch higher prices in auctions. Who knew a simple 1980p Washington quarter could be worth so much? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always check your coins carefully. You could be sitting on a small fortune. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos where we uncover more hidden treasures. And if you have any cool coins you'd like me to talk about, drop a comment below. We're diving into the fascinating world of quarters, specifically the 1981p Mintmark Washington quarter. What makes this coin special? Could it really be worth millions? Stay tuned to find out. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of the first U.S. President, George Washington. But what about the 1981p Mintmark version? Well, 1981 was a pivotal year for these quarters, as they were part of a series that experienced mass production due to high demand for coins at the time. Minted in Philadelphia, the 1981p quarter was one of millions struck. In fact, over 600 million were produced. But as with many coins, it's not just the quantity that matters, it's the quality and certain rarities that collectors are after. So, what should you be looking for in your 1981p quarter? First off, these coins are made from a copper-nickel clad, and they feature Washington's profile on the obverse side. The reverse displays the iconic American eagle with outstretched wings. On-screen text: look out for error coins! But here's where things get interesting. Error coins ***. Errors during production can make a coin skyrocket in value. For the 1981p quarter, collectors are always on the lookout for coins with significant minting mistakes. These include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or weak strikes where the details aren't as clear. These errors can take what looks like an ordinary quarter and turn it into a coin worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. So, how much can a 1981p Washington quarter be worth? A standard 1981p in circulated condition is usually worth face value, 25 cents. But if you find one in mint state condition, the value jumps up. A high-grade, Uncirculated 1981p quarter could fetch anywhere from $10 to $30 depending on its quality. However, the real money is in the era coins. Some era 1981p quarters have sold for thousands at auction. And believe it or not, certain unique era coins or coins graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, with exceptionally high grades have been known to fetch prices in the six-figure range. The right coin in the right condition could even be worth millions. So, you're probably asking yourself, how do I know if my 1981p quarter is valuable? First, grab a magnifying glass and examine the coin closely. Look for any of those mint errors we talked about, like double strikes or off-center designs. Pay attention to the coin's condition. Any scratches, wear, or dents could lower its value. If you think you've got something special, it's worth sending your coin off for grading by a professional service like PCGS or NGC to get an official assessment. Who knew a humble 1981p quarter could be worth so much? If you've got a stash of old coins at home, it might be time to take a closer look. You never know, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to your channel name, and ring that notification bell for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and history lessons. Have you found any rare coins in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. We're shining the spotlight on a coin that might just be hiding in your change jar, the 1982p Washington quarter dollar. You might not believe it, but this seemingly ordinary coin has a history and value that could blow your mind. So, what makes the 1982p Washington quarter dollar so special? Let's start with a bit of history. The 1982p Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter from the early 80s. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these quarters were struck on what is known as wrong planchet, or clad planchet. Essentially, they were mistakenly minted on a different type of metal than what was intended for the series. In 1982, the U.S. Mint was in the process of transitioning from the old copper-nickel clad to the new composition. During this transition, some 1982 quarters ended up being struck on a type of metal intended for other coins or on improperly prepared planchets. This error creates a rare variety of the 1982p Washington quarter, which is highly sought after by collectors. If you come across one, it's not just any quarter, it's a potential treasure. Now let's talk value. The rarity and demand for these error quarters mean they can be worth quite a bit more than their face value. While standard 1982p quarters are worth 25 cents, those with the error can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on their condition and the nature of the error. A typical 1982p Washington quarter in average condition might only be worth its face value. However, error coins can range from $200 to over $2,000 or more, particularly if they're in mint condition or have unique errors. If you think you might have a valuable 1982p quarter, getting it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC is a good idea. This can help determine its value and authenticity. So, if you've got a 1982p Washington quarter in your collection or just found one in your spare change, it might be worth checking out. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth a lot more than you think. We're exploring a coin that might just be hiding in your spare change and could be worth a small fortune, the 1983p Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. First up, let's talk about the basics. The 1983p Mintmark Washington quarter dollar is a regular issue coin from the U.S. Mint, but it has a special place in the world of numismatics. Why? Because of its rarity and the unique story behind it. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1983, the design was well established, and the coin was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark on the reverse side. Now you might be thinking, what's so special about a coin from 1983? Well, here's where it gets interesting. The 1983p Mintmark Washington quarter is known for its scarcity in high grades, particularly in mint state or proof condition. In terms of value, the 1983 P quarter isn't worth millions of dollars in most cases, but it can fetch a premium if it's in exceptional condition. Coins that have been graded as MS-67 or higher by professional grading services can command impressive prices. In fact, some have sold for over $1,000 at auctions. So, what should you look for if you think you might have one of these valuable quarters? Check for a few key details. First, make sure the coin is in pristine condition with no visible wear. Second, look for any unusual minting errors or defects, which can sometimes add to a coin's value. One of the most notable aspects of the 1983 P quarter is its potential for error coins. For example, some collectors look for quarters with doubled dies or other minting anomalies. These errors can make the coin even more valuable. Finding a high-grade 1983 P Mintmark quarter in excellent condition is quite rare. Many collectors are on the lookout for these coins, so if you have one, it's worth getting it professionally graded. If you think you have a 1983 P quarter that could be worth something, consider having it professionally graded. Proper preservation and grading can significantly impact its value. To wrap it up, the 1983 P Mintmark Washington quarter dollar may not be worth millions, but it's a coin with an interesting story and can be quite valuable in the right condition. Keep an eye out for those mint marks and keep on collecting. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more coin collecting tips, and leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Share your stories with us. Feel free to tweak the script to better match your style or add any additional details that you find interesting. We're exploring a quarter that might just surprise you with its value and history, the 1985 P Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. Stay tuned as we uncover why this coin is worth a lot more than you might think. First, let's take a trip back in time. The 1985 P Washington quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the P Mint mark on the coin. This quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design, created by John Flanagan, features George Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The 1985 P quarter was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these coins annually to meet high demand for everyday transactions. So, what makes the 1985 P Washington quarter stand out? Here are some quick facts. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite being a common date in the series, certain 1985 P quarters have become highly sought after by collectors due to their rarity in specific conditions. You might be wondering, what makes a 1985 P quarter worth a fortune? Well, the answer lies in its condition and certain rare varieties. Most 1985 P quarters are valued at face value, but there are exceptions. One notable rarity is the high-grade specimen. Coins in mint state, MS-65 or higher, can command premium prices. And if you find one with a unique error or variety, like a double die or an off-center strike, the value can soar into the thousands. For example, some of these rare varieties have been known to fetch anywhere from $500 to $1,000 or more at auction. So, how do you check if your 1985 P Washington quarter is a valuable one? Here are a few tips. Look for coins in excellent condition, no scratches, dents, or heavy wear. K for doubling, off-center strikes, or any unusual features. For valuable coins, it's always a good idea to get them graded by a professional service. And there you have it. The 1985 P Washington quarter dollar may not seem extraordinary at first glance, but with the right conditions or errors, it can become a prized possession in the coin collecting world. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest content. We're diving into a fascinating topic, the 1986 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. We'll explore its history, its value, and why it could be worth millions of dollars. So, let's get started. The Washington quarter dollar has been a staple of American currency since 1932, but the 1986 Mintmark version is particularly interesting. Minted in Denver, this coin features George Washington's profile, designed by John Flanagan. By the mid-1980s, the U.S. Mint had established a regular production schedule, and the 1986 coin was part of this consistent output. However, it's not just any quarter, it carries a story of numismatic intrigue and potential. So, what makes the 1986 quarter special in the world of coin collecting? Well, most 1986 quarters are relatively common and worth only their face value. However, certain key factors can dramatically increase their value. One major factor is the coin's condition. Coins that are in pristine condition, especially those graded as MS67 or higher, can fetch a premium. But here's where things get really interesting. There have been rare varieties and errors associated with the 1986 quarter that can make them extraordinarily valuable. Error coins are the holy grail for collectors, and the 1986 quarter has had a few notable examples. For instance, there have been reports of double die errors and other minting anomalies. These errors, although rare, can significantly boost the value of the coin. In some cases, error coins have sold for thousands, or even millions of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. The key to finding such valuable coins lies in knowing what to look for. Examine your quarters closely for any discrepancies in the design or minting process. If you think you might have a valuable 1986 quarter, the next step is to get it appraised. A professional coin dealer or a reputable grading service can help determine its value. Once you have a professional opinion, you can decide whether to hold on to the coin as part of your collection or consider selling it. Just remember, the condition and rarity are key factors that will influence its worth. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the 1986 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the history and value of these coins can be incredibly rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more exciting content on rare coins and collectibles. Drop a comment below if you found any interesting quarters or have any questions. We're diving into a fascinating topic for all you coin enthusiasts out there. We'll be exploring the 1984 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar, its history, its value, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth millions of dollars. Make sure to stick around till the end because you don't want to miss the rarest finds. Narrator. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The 1984 version of this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it bears the P Mint mark. This year, the Mint produced a standard issue of the quarter, but as we'll see, there are some special nuances to look out for. The 1984 Washington quarter features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The P Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is relatively common for quarters. However, don't be fooled. While most 1984 quarters are not particularly rare, there are exceptions. Most 1984 P Mintmark Washington quarters are valued at face value or a small premium over it. However, there are some specific conditions that can make this coin worth a lot more. For instance, if you have a quarter with an unusually high grade, or if it's an error coin, its value can skyrocket. For example, if you find a 1984 P quarter in pristine condition, graded MS67 or higher, you could be looking at hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. Additionally, error coins, such as those with misaligned dies or unique minting mistakes, can fetch even higher prices. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare errors. So how can you determine if your 1984 P quarter is a valuable one? First, examine the coin closely for any signs of wear or damage. Use a magnifying glass to check for minting errors. Next, get your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can significantly impact your coin's market value. To wrap things up, while most 1984 P Mintmark Washington quarters are not worth a fortune, there are always exceptions that can make the hunt worthwhile. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content on rare coins and collectibles, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest uploads. And if you have any 1984 P quarters or other rare coins you'd like to share, drop a comment below or join our community on We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting with a special focus on the 1987 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. This seemingly ordinary coin has a history and value that might surprise you. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about hidden treasures, stick around. First, let's take a look at the basics. The 1987 Washington quarter dollar was minted in Denver and is part of the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. But what makes the 1987 unique? Let's find out. On the obverse, we have the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It's a classic depiction, but don't let its simplicity fool you. This coin, while appearing common, has some interesting quirks. On the reverse side, you'll see an eagle perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace and strength. The 1987 D, like its counterparts, was produced in high numbers. But that's where the story takes a turn. In 1987, over 700 million Washington quarters were minted. This makes the 1987 D one of the more common issues. But here's where it gets intriguing. While the standard 1987 D quarter doesn't carry immense value, some special circumstances make it noteworthy. Some 1987 D quarters have been found with minor errors or anomalies, such as double die varieties. These rare errors can increase a coin's value significantly. If you're lucky enough to find one, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, how do you know if your 1987 D quarter is worth more than face value? The key is in the details. Look for unusual markings or double images. These errors are often small but can make a big difference in value. Another factor to consider is the coin's grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades fetching higher prices. A well-preserved 1987 D quarter in mint condition can be worth more to collectors. Remember, even though the 1987 D quarter may not be worth millions in its standard form, finding one with unique errors or in exceptional condition can be a great addition to your collection. Always keep an eye out and get your coins professionally appraised if you think you've got something special. If you enjoyed learning about the 1987 D Mintmark Washington quarter dollar, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and rare finds. And if you have any questions or want to share your own coin discoveries, drop a comment below. We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting with a deep look at the 1988 D Washington quarter dollar. This coin may not seem extraordinary at first glance, but it has a surprising story and can be worth more than you'd think. Let's explore its history, value, and the rare examples that could make you a millionaire. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1988 D Washington quarter dollar was minted in Denver and is part of the George Washington series, which started in 1932. The coin features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But what sets the 1988 D apart from other quarters? The 1988 D quarter was struck during a period of transition in U.S. coinage. The Denver Mint, known for its precision, produced these coins with the same quality as other years. However, it's not the design that makes this coin special, it's the rarity and the errors that can occur during the minting process. Value and market overview, ****. Now let's talk value. Most 1988 D quarters are worth their face value, 25 cents. However, there are some exceptions. Collectors and numismatists look for specific features or errors that can significantly increase a coin's worth. One of the most sought-after varieties is the D over S Mintmark error, where the Denver Mintmark D is over an S Mintmark. This rare error can make the coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, if you have a 1988 D quarter with a noticeable doubling or other minting errors, it could be worth more. A few high-grade examples have even been sold for impressive sums, proving that even modern coins can have significant value. The key is to examine your quarters closely and consult with a professional grader if you think you might have a rare variety. So, how can you identify a valuable 1988 D Washington quarter? Look for signs of mint errors, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or over mint marks. High quality, Uncirculated coins also tend to fetch higher prices. If you're unsure, consider using a magnifying glass or digital microscope to get a closer look. In summary, while the 1988 Washington quarter may not seem extraordinary at first glance, its potential for rare errors and high-grade examples makes it a coin worth keeping an eye on. Check your change and add this quarter to your collection. It might just be the key to a significant find. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1989 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. If you've ever wondered about the value, history, and why some of these coins are worth millions, stay tuned because you're in for a treat. Let's start with a quick overview. The 1989 Mintmark Washington quarter is a part of the Washington quarter series that began in 1932. These quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why they have the P Mint mark. They feature George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the obverse, and an eagle on the reverse. The 1989 issue was part of the regular circulation series. Unlike some other years, it didn't have any significant changes or special features, but it holds a unique place in the history of American coinage. At first glance, you might think it's just another quarter, but there are some exceptional aspects that can make it quite valuable. Now, let's talk about the value. Generally, most 1989 Mintmark quarters are worth face value, 25 cents. However, there are exceptions. Some collectors look for specific errors or varieties that could make a coin significantly more valuable. For example, some quarters from this year have been found with misprints or errors. These can include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Coins with these errors can be worth a lot more, sometimes reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But here's where it gets really interesting. A small number of 1989 quarters have been found in exceptional condition, graded as MS-67 or higher by professional grading services. These high-grade coins are highly sought after and can command impressive prices at auction. In recent years, some of these high-grade examples have sold for thousands of dollars. The record prices are achieved not just because of their rarity but also due to their pristine condition. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for coins that stand out in terms of quality and preservation. So, how can you determine if your 1989 quarter is worth more than its face value? First, examine it closely for any errors or unusual features. Next, consider having it graded by a professional service to assess its condition and authenticity. Coin grading involves evaluating the coin's condition based on factors like wear, luster, and surface quality. A higher grade means a higher value, so it's worth getting an expert opinion if you think you've got something special. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1989 Mintmark Washington quarter dollar. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the value and history of coins can be incredibly rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for more content on coin collecting and rare finds. Have any questions or want to share your coin stories? Drop a comment below, we'd love to hear from you.